Dear learners, welcome to the online class conducted by Government Haji Muhammad Mohsin College. I am Aisha Tabassuma, your English teacher, with you today to conduct this session. I hope you all are in safe and sound health. Today, our topic is The Legend of Gazi, Lesson 3 from the Unit 14, titled as Myths and Literature. Look at the picture, dear learners. What do you see? A man riding on a fierce-looking tiger, and again he holds a snake in his left hand. So dangerous thing. He holds a snake in his left hand and riding on a tiger. We can know that men are riding on horses, riding on buffaloes, riding on asses, many things, many other animals. But we never hear that a man is riding on a tiger. There is another picture. We see that some fishes are there and a crocodile. There is a crocodile, big crocodile, and this crocodile is also looking fierce and it dominates the whole life of water. And the question is, who is the man on the tiger back, and why the picture of this crocodile? We have to know about the man and about this picture. Let's go through your text. This is your text from the textbook about this man, the legend of Gazi. According to some myths and legends, Gazipir was a Muslim saint who is said to have spread Islam in the parts of Bengal close to the Sundarbans. According to some myths, according to some story, the story coming down from the past. The story told by the general people, common people. Gazipir was a Muslim saint who was spreading Islam in the southern corner of Bangladesh, in the Sundarbans area. He was credited with many miracles. The myth says that he shows lots of extraordinary activities, many miracles, unbelievable events. For example, he could supposedly calm down dangerous animals and make them docile. One of the example of his miracles. He could supposedly calm down dangerous animals. He could make the dangerous animals, we can say, domestic, docile, calm. He is usually depicted in pots or scroll paintings, riding a fierce-looking Bengal tiger, a snake in his hand, but in no apparent danger. We see that earlier in our picture. The man is the Gazipir, who holds a snake in his left hand and is riding on a tiger's back. According to some stories, he also fought crocodiles who threatened the people of a region full of canals and creeks, indeed a kind of watery jungle bordering the Bay of Bengal. Another myth says that he also could manage the crocodiles, could make docile the crocodiles. The southern area, even Bangladesh is a riverine country. Lots of creeks, canals, rivers are there, and the southern area of Bangladesh has lots of watery lands full with water. And these creeks, canals, or rivers are abound with crocodiles, and we know that crocodile is so dangerous, too much. And we see these crocodiles, first fierce looking crocodiles, in our earlier picture. Because of his alert and vigilant presence, all predatory animals were said to have been kept within bounds. He would keep all the predatory animals, all the harmful, all the dangerous animals within a boundary, as these animals could not make make harm, could not make could not destroy anyone's life or anyone's harvest. It was also believed that he enabled villagers to live close to forests and jungles and cultivate their lands. Usually, the people of this area didn't live close to the jungle, near the jungle, because of the predatory animals, because of the dangerous animals such as tigers, crocodiles. But the man, Gazipir, made all the predatory animals docile or could manage them well, and for that reason, or the as a result, the villagers, the common people, the inhabitants of this area could live in could live close to the jungle, close to the Sundarbans, and they could cultivate their fields. Consequently, people of these regions would pray to him for protection. People came to seek his help. The story of Gazipir has been preserved in folk literature as well as art and has been performed in indigenous theatre. In fact, some Gazipur scrolls are part of the collection of the British Museum. The story of this legendary person Gazipir is kept is the collection of British Museum. The two pictures which we saw earlier in our slide also taken from the online version of British Museum. Here's another Here is another three pictures of Gajir path or scroll. The middle one depicts with the Gajipir attending by his two men, two working person, servant, and in both sides there are two another paths containing his usual activity. All these pictures are from British Museum online version. What is folk art? We read that this Gazi path or scroll is the collection of British Museum is the folk art. Folk art is traditional arts and crafts evolving over time through the age-old folk practices. That means folk art is traditional, the year-long, age-long tradition, traditional arts and crafts evolving over time. It is coming down from the past, from the very beginning of the history of any group, any country, any nation, any origin. It is rooted in traditions that come from community and culture, expressing cultural identity by conveying shared community values and aesthetics. Folk art is not a mere art. It explains, it shows, it glows the, it holds the beliefs, customs, cultures of a community, of a nation, of a group. Folk art uses traditional motifs reflecting the land and its people. Most folk arts need very ordinary raw materials like clay, wood, cloth, thread, shola, or spongewood, conch shell, reeds, bamboo cane, and horns. That means the materials of folk art is so common thing which are found everywhere. Folk art is primarily utilitarian and decorative rather than purely aesthetic. It is utilitarian, helpful for the livelihood, for the earning. The totally, completely, purely aesthetic art form is called, we know as fine art. Here is another snapshots, and these snapshots shows the folk art of Bangladesh. The first one is it is the form of bamboo. Bamboo craft. The lower is under the lower is the cane or cane craft, and this is the picture of jute craft. All these three forms are very popular, very familiar to us. There is another art form, folk art form, the pottery, the shola craft, conch shell craft. This is the mold craft, or mold, yes, mold craft, and the Shora Chitra. Shora Chitra is very popular, very common in native area of Bangladesh, and it's so beautiful also. The another two form of folk art and most popular one is the Nakshi Katha. Every people love it very much. The another one is so decorative, so beautiful in art, and it is called Dayal Chitra. That means wall painting. All these pictures shows the different forms of folk art of Bangladesh. Now, have a look. There are names of some form of folk arts of Bangladesh. different form of folk arts of Bangladesh: Nokshi Katha, Nokshi Shikha, Nokshi Pakha, Nokshi Pitha, Nokshi Molds. You can find more other folk art form using Nokshi words. Mukhush, that means masks, Alpana, pottery, so familiar. Cane craft, jute craft, bamboo craft, conch shell craft, shola craft, and metal craft. In recent time, metal craft becomes very popular with the women folk. Ladies and women's female persons now very fond of wearing ornaments made of metal craft. পটচিত্র, ঘটচিত্র, সরাচিত্র, দেওয়াল চিত্র. We have picture of দেওয়াল চিত্র and also সরাচিত্র. These are the different forms of folk art usually found in Bangladesh. Here is some words which we have to know clearly to understand this passage. Legends, docile, scroll, creeks, vigilant, predatory, collection. These words is something unfamiliar, something unknown. Not to everyone, but it's not too usual. Legend. What is the meaning of legend? Legend is related to history, related to past time. This is a figure, usually a figure or story coming from the past or history. It is regarded historical, but without any pure document, without any proof. It is not verifiable. Docile. Docile means making something calm, making something manageable or submissive, easily led or managed. Scroll. Scroll is a form of writing documents, is a role of writing documents, role for writing documents, usually made of papyrus and papers. It is a form of writing documents or drawing pictures. The Gazir path is the picture. Creek. What is the creek? We know canals, we know rivers. What is creek? Creek is a kind of watery land, stream of water, usually docile. Docile means submissive, which is easily managed or easily led. Scroll. Scroll is a roll of paper or roll of papyrus, usually using for writing documents. We see that Gazir path or Gazir scroll is a painting, a roll of painting. Creek. We know river, we know about canal, pond, but what's creek? Creek is similar to river or canal, Creek is a stream of water, usually smaller than and tributary to river. Vigilant. That means alertly or watchful, especially to avoid danger. That means giving, that means precautious to avoid danger. Predatory. Predatory means harmful, intention to harm other one, harm another person, harm others, injure others. Dangerous. Indigenous. Indigenous means the group of people or the common people living in a specific area for the time, for the long time, from the age to age. The native peoples, we can also say them indigenous people. Rooted people, rooted in the native, rooted in the specific region. We know about Aborigines. The Australian indigenous peoples are called Aborigine. Indigenous and Aborigines, somehow we think these two terms are equal, same, but not that. Aborigines, only the Australian indigenous people, but indigenous is the past one. Every native people, native people who used to live from age to age, from forefathers in a specific region, specific locality, specific area is called indigenous. Now, this is the ending time of our session. We know about folk arts, about myths, about legends, about scroll, and obviously about Gaji Pir. Now, you have a homework. This is write a paragraph of about 150 words. 150 words explaining what folk art is. We know about folk art and forms of folk art and different forms of folk art of Bangladesh. Explain with 4 to 5 sentences every form of folk art. This is your task for the day, home task. This is the end of this session. Thank you for joining with me. I hope you will be well and you stay home. You will be safe and sound, and obviously you will follow all the safety measures to keep yourself and your family members and your neighbors safe and sound. Be careful, be cautious, be safe, be sound, be well. Stay home. Thank you very much. Thank you.